crisis. We're talking about Venezuela once again. To make important tanks, they removed the 1,000 called monetary preparedness. All right, we are live for a midday or early day RTD News update. Wanted to connect and basically just share with you some information that was passed on to me. And I actually had it on my to-do list today, but I thought I would cover it earlier so to give us more time to connect for the People's Talk Show. But anyway, it looks like as of now, Putin has fulfilled his promise of cutting off gas supplies if payments were not made in the Russian ruble. And so some of the headlines coming out here talking about blackmail, threats, and using all types of words to paint this entire situation as like a solely a Putin or Russian issue. We're not covering the whole story, telling the truth about how it's as much bigger than greater than that. But thought I would just put together a visual aid, share with you guys, as well as share some recent developments as they unfold. This is just more of the process of the de-dollarization process, rather. And I wanted to connect for a brief moment and share my thoughts as well as connect with you guys. So before I do such, if we have any first-time viewers in the community, we'd love to welcome you to the fold. Definitely let me know where you're watching from. And then also make sure you guys plug in later tonight at 4 p.m. for the People's Talk Show. So if you don't mind, hit the thumbs up button, show your support for the channel, as well as make sure you click the subscribe button, and hopefully you are notified when we go live. All right. So let me make sure everything is flowing smoothly on my side, and then we can keep plugging along. Still trying to work out the kinks towards this new method here, but I'll do the best I can. So let me acknowledge a couple people real quick. Appreciate you for joining me. We got JoJo, we got X, we got Urban, Sombrero, we got Norman checking in. Appreciate you guys, man. All right, so let me jump right into it. I want to share with you a little visual aid I put together just to kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together in reference to the news as it unfolds. And so as you guys can see here, I'll just jump right into it. Russia fulfills promise to cut off gas supplies. And so I have a variety of things listed there, of which I'll try to briefly jump on them. But as you guys can see here, it's kind of self-explanatory. Starting to the far left, we have the SWIFT. And all these dates are adding up to give us a sense of urgency in this agenda to move away from the Federal Reserve note and all the dollar-denominated instruments and get back to the realization that the world needs real-world resources and not just those debt instruments that's used to pay for those things. And so we'll walk through this in a moment, but just wanted to present this to you guys so you can see it firsthand. And we will jump right into, let me close out some windows here. We will jump right into the primary article here. And so article here, highlighted a couple of things for you guys, but it says Russia fulfills threat and cuts off gas supplies to Poland and Bulgaria as tension rises. What type of tensions are they referring to? They're talking about the geopolitical conflict between Russia and Ukraine, but yet those that are awake and aware and realize the monetary transition, we're referring to the tensions in regards to the move away from this current monetary structure into something completely rebranded. Nothing new, but rebranded. And of course, that has to do with gold and sometimes silver. But anyway, just thumb through this real quick, and I'll highlight a few things that I'll jump on. And it says, as he has already warned Vladimir Putin, conditions the delivery of gas payments to the rubles in Russian banking institutions. Forgive me. Real sweet here. It says, today, the Russian gas distribution company Gazprom announced that they will stop supplying gas to Poland and Bulgaria as of this Wednesday. So as of today. And it says, last Friday, the president, Vladimir Putin, signed a decree by means of which it was established that the enemy countries, or the unfriendly nations, or unfriendly countries, as he put it, of Russia that consume gas must pay for it in rubles, opening bank accounts in the country's institutions. And so I did a visual aid for that last week. So let me just jump on that one real quick, just giving you a glimpse of what this ruble gas flow looks like. So as you guys can see here, in the very middle, you have nations are labeled unfriendly. And so Gazprom to the left, we got the dollar and the euro at the top. We have the Moscow exchange, which is the method of which those currency units will flow into. And then they'll make their way over to Gazprom and their Gazprom bank, which will establish accounts for all those nations that want to cooperate with this new arrangement. And then from there, their accounts will be credited, Gazprom will be compensated, and their countries will receive energy. So this is that visual aid from a week ago. But back to this one here. So as you guys can see from this visual aid just today, we had the initial announcement of Russia being kicked off the SWIFT system, which was March 2nd. And so that was all unfriendly countries to the far left. And so this was what got all this started initially. And then we moved throughout the month. I have, a lot of things happen in between here. I'll save you guys a headache with that, but we talked about that. So here we got Putin with his hand over the gas switch. And so as of April 1st, as you guys can see here, he announced that moving forward, contracts will be negotiated. You'll pay in rubles or else you'll suffer the consequences of losing energy. And so as a result of that, that began the new payment method of which Russian rubles were required for energy flow. And here we are. And so actually go back towards the middle, or I think was a week or two ago, the Russian dollar-denominated payments were made, but they were deposited into the Russian central bank. And this is this little visual aid here, basically signifying that Russia was willing to make due on their debt obligations, but having been removed from the SWIFTs, that the West was not allowing them to make due in their own currency. So there's, I guess, Russian rubles sitting in the Russian central bank right now that's waiting to be claimed for those that might not want to, get be put on a bad list or naughty list for not complying with the Western's agenda. But then we go to the very end of this month here. So this last little visual aid here, April 27th, which is today. I put a check mark right there. And from what we're hearing over here, the puppet countries, as you guys can see here, we got Poland and Bulgaria are basically cut off with the oil supplies. And so this plays back into the article that I'm talking about here. But just to give you an idea, it says, unlike Canada and the United States, the country of the European Union depend on Russia for the gas they consume. It says it is estimated that between 30 to 40% of the gas used in Europe is from Russia. It says what is a fact is that the news escalates, again, the tension between Russia and the Western countries. European countries have refused the measure, arguing that if it implies a violation of contracts that are in dollars and euros, German Chancellor has accused Putin of blackmailing these nations and has said that Germany will continue to pay for its gas in euros as stipulated in the contract. So it's just interesting how they're using the word blackmail when it has nothing to do with blackmail. It's more so just them living up to a promise. They said that if you don't pay us in our own currency for the way you guys are treating us, the way you're trying to isolate us from the world, we'll see how you adjust to that. So as you guys can see here, not a blackmail, not a threat, just a promise. That's all. And so far, so good. We'll see. I think there's been one or two countries he talked about that decided to jump on board and at least negotiate or start talking about paying in rubles. So we'll see if Poland and Bulgaria jumps on board. And then it talks about here, they're making some plans to do some things. It says Bulgaria, whose gas comes 90% from Russia, has started a tender for underground drilling that would allow them to face the crisis. So they're looking to start drilling. So once again, I think it takes a lot more time than just this summer or this fall to get something up and running. Will it work? Probably not. Poland declared that it has anticipated the situation and it has gas reserves at up to 76% of its capacity. So those gas reserves may last you through this current winter spring time frame and perhaps into this year at best. But once again, they're going to have to address some energy issues no matter what. So, but this is what's happening, man. I thought I would just connect for a quick minute and put together a visual aid for you guys to see as to what is taking place around the world, in particular surrounding the introduction or the reintroduction of another medium of exchange, i.e. the Russian ruble, which is doing fairly well, might I add, against the dollar. And so that right there lets me know that the Russian economy overall is not doing all that bad the way that the Western mainstream media, misinformation media would like us to believe. So anyway, more stuff to talk about throughout the day. I have a couple more topics to bring to your attention, but wanted to connect for a brief moment and just share with you some information as it unfolds. I see a lot of people checking in via chat. As always, I appreciate you guys for blessing me with your presence. And what I want you guys to do, if you don't mind, hit the thumbs up button and take this video, share it so other people can realize that there's a community of people, of like-minded individuals that's concerned and talking about real-world events as they unfold and not distractions that are of little importance in this current transition period. So that's kind of all that I have for today. But anyway, be blessed, be safe. Back at it again at 4 p.m. And if you don't mind, invite a friend, and just come hang out with us. And there's been a lot of good energy and positive energy from a spiritual standpoint in those discussions. So I want to continue that. So bring a topic, bring a friend, and I'll see you guys shortly. Other than that, I will be back in a while. Talk to you later.
The next recession.
Recession will be a recession.
We're going to hit a recession.
The date of the next recession.
A U.S.-only recession typically lasts 8 to 10 months.
A crash is coming. Now, whether it's 6 months from now, 12 months, 36 months, no one knows.
If you have the right plan to set up, you can make a lot of money from this.